Hi, folks. This is Peter Boykin, and this is hashtag Go Right. Thanks for tuning in. And we got a lot to talk about tonight. Hi, folks. This is Peter Boykin. We got a lot to talk about tonight. So we'll be right back. And thanks for tuning in.
Sorry to keep you waiting. Complicated business.
Hi, fellow patriots. This is Peter Boykin from hashtag Go Right. Share this right now. Time to go right. Hi, folks. This is Peter Boykin from hashtag Go Right. And just to let you know, we have to keep this show going. If you can support us at it's paypal.me/MAGAFirstNews. There's a link on gorightnews.com as well that can help. It costs me about $55 for my server every month and $20-some for my Spreaker, et cetera, et cetera. The costs add up. And as you know, I go out and work as hard as I can to do things. I would like to have booths and tables in the future to show up at events. And I can't do that without funds. And the government wants every dime that I have. This MAGA terrorist that they claim, the government wants every dime. Now, let me talk about what Biden has done to our weapons stockpile before I talk about Biden's devilish Star Wars, Darth Vader speech. Because Biden quite literally has our stockpile at a dangerously uncomfortable low. The Pentagon is warning that our stockpiles of ammunition are now dangerously low, leaving our military readiness vulnerable. Why? Because Joe Biden sent all our ammunition to Ukraine. Now back up. Since the war broke out in late February, Joe Biden has transferred $13.7 billion of U.S. direct financial aid and military equipment to Ukraine. Some of that includes 1,400 anti-aircraft Stinger missiles, 8,500 Javelin anti-armor missiles, 700 split-blade drones, 142 pieces of howitzer artillery with more than 900,000 155-millimeter rounds. And most of this has come directly from our defense stockpiles meant for military threats that could arise. And I just popped up before I did the podcast today that we have a $1-something trillion deal with Taiwan to get them militarized. That's really going to change some stuff with China. Now, recently, the U.S. needed to use a 155-millimeter howitzer rounds to strike Iranian-backed Islamics in Syria. We're running out. And an honest military official told the Wall Street Journal supplies are now uncomfortably low. And if a major military conflict broke out today, it is not at the level we would like to go into combat. As a reflection of just how low supplies are, the U.S. started sending Ukraine 105 millimeters in place of 155 millimeter ammunition. Now, Biden should have seen this coming. Mackenzie Elingen, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, slammed Biden, saying, "This was knowable. It was foreseeable. It was forewarned, including from industry leaders to the Pentagon, and it was easily fixable. Now, here's the big problem. Manufacturers can't simply produce more 155 millimeter rounds button. They just can't press one. It takes between 13 to 18 months from the time an order is placed to ramp up manufacturing capabilities. Missiles and drones take even longer. Meanwhile, defense and congressional officials say the Biden regime has been slow to get those new contracts rolling. So while geopolitical threats are popping up all over the world, Sleepy Joe Biden is giving away our crucial ammunitions to Ukraine without properly resupplying our own supply. And if you don't believe that, the source is the Wall Street Journal. So take that up with them. Now, earlier I published on Go Right News what to expect from Biden's speech about the so-called MAGA fascists. If you haven't already seen the speech, it's bad. It's real bad. Joe Biden delivered a primetime address to the nation outside of Independence Hall in Philadelphia with a backdrop looking like he was Darth Vader in a horrible ripoff of Star Wars. And what he did, it wasn't discussing the recession that he's driven into or the border crisis he's allowed to grow out of control. He attacked you, Republicans, American-loving patriots. Recently, he referred to MAGA Republicans and their entire philosophy as being like semi-fascism. Now, what is fascism? It's typically characterized as a movement with one dictatorial leader who uses the force. In this case, I guess the dark force, I don't know, the light force, the way of the Jedi, or the Sith. The force of the state to control private businesses. That sounds familiar to COVID. Uses the military to carry out its political will. That sounds familiar. And uses the state police to suppress his opposition. Really? So when Joe looks at you in the eye and slanders you as a fascist, I want you to remember who the real fascist is. Joe Biden used the power of the state to force you to take an experimental vaccine. Joe Biden used his power to pressure schools to force mask your children. Joe Biden has the state classify you as a domestic terrorist if you speak out at school board meetings. Joe Biden has empowered the IRS to shake you down. Joe Biden even tried to force us all to be vaccinated in order to make a living that we have to have in order to live and survive. A lot of you had to. You were forced. And they even wanted to question our religious rights. Joe Biden kept us out of our schools and our churches. Joe Biden used the FBI to go after his political opponents. That is what a fascist looks like. The big picture, folks, is midterm elections are coming. And Biden is going to use this speech, and he used that speech to try and depress you and energize Democratic voters. That's what it was about. The guy who ran for president saying he'd unite the country is doing the exact opposite. And it's all for politics. It's all for politics. Imagine seeing the destruction for the last 20 months and still voting Democrat. I'm amazed at some people's stupidity. Democrat voters are so gullible and dumb. It's hard to believe that they can even dress themselves in the morning, and we know Joe Biden cannot. In the 19 months of 100% Democratic power, we have had the highest gas prices in history. We have had the highest inflation in 40 years. We have recession. We have tax breaks and tax well, not tax breaks, tax hikes, adding every 87,000 IRS agents. We have wars everywhere. And we have an open border with millions pouring in. But the Democratic midterm voter will say, please give me more of this. Folks, Joe Biden just declared all of us enemies of the state. Biden is a danger. He's a danger to us all. Joe Biden must be impeached. I know he'd get stuck with Kamala Harris. Meanwhile, what minion of Satan on this traitor staff thought that it was a good look for the most divisive and hateful speech ever given by a sitting president on history, who also chose September 1st, which is also the same date that Hitler used for his divisive speech? Really? Only thing that was missing was a couple of flame pots, a couple of Imperial guards from Star Wars. I mean, the only thing we can do is say a prayer, folks, and God bless and protect us all. Because Joe Biden keeps trying to turn the term MAGA into a pejorative, and he keeps backfiring on him. Joe Biden called us all ultra MAGA, but we adopted the term of a badge of honor, kind of like what we did with deplorables. And recently he referred to Trump as the great MAGA king. Well, folks, I am a proud, deplorable, ultra MAGA, Constitution faggot, fascist for liberty. If that's what you're saying. Now let's talk about the Biden speech. The Biden speech, the devil's in the delivery. And boy, oh boy, what a delivery. And that was not DiGiorno. In a primetime address to the nation, Joe Biden delivered the ugliest and most divisive speech ever made by an American president. We're going to set the scene. Sicily, 1942. Hitler. No, sorry, that was my inner golden girl. Setting the scene, Biden stood outside the birthplace of America, Independence Hall in Philadelphia, and desecrated it with a Nazi aesthetic. Well, they called us Nazis. Floodlights lit the walls blood red. He was flanked by 2 Marines standing in the shadows behind him. And he spent 25 minutes screaming into the microphone, interrupted by coughing fits, while attacking half the country. Oh, yes, and in fact, by fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden, fuck Joe Biden. That was actually going on behind him as well. That was great. It's one rebel scum in the audience. Meanwhile, Biden's message was clear. MAGA Republicans are extremists. Now, he tried to back that up today. You know, he tried to back it up afterwards, after the speech. He said, oh, no, I didn't mean it that way. No, but we know. That was Biden. Biden used the term MAGA 13 times. Now, here are some excerpts from the man who claims to want to unite the country. Quote, Donald Trump and the MAGA Republicans represent an extremism that threatens the very foundations of our republic. Quote, MAGA Republicans do not respect the Constitution. They do not believe in the rule of law. They do not recognize the will of the people. Quote, MAGA Republicans have made their choice. They embrace anger. They thrive on chaos. They live not in the light of truth, but the shadow of lies. And here's the biggest lie of all. MAGA Republicans destroying American democracy. We went over this before, folks. We do not live in a democracy. We live in a constitutional republic. We live in a constitutional republic. I'm not sure why people can't figure that one out. A constitutional republic is what we live in. And we definitely are not ran by a devil. Because the only person I saw behind Biden quite literally was the devil. He was right there. He was guiding that Biden. Thank God that they say that those who with the Antichrist will be loved by all. Nobody loves Joe Biden. Nobody loves Joe Biden. I don't have to worry about that. We definitely don't have to worry about that. This man, the devil was with him last night, or whenever you watched it. Now, Trump responded to the speech on Truth Social correctly saying, someone should explain to Joe Biden slowly but passionately that MAGA means, as powerfully as mere words can get, make America great again. And if he doesn't want to make America great again, which through words, action, and thought, he doesn't, then he certainly should not be representing the United States of America. Now, former Trump aide Stephen Miller summed up the Biden speech perfectly. He said Biden tonight gave the speech of a dictator. A dictator. And we know what a dictator looks like. We absolutely know what a dictator looks like. You want to know what a dictator looks like, right? I know what one looks like. Biden definitely was trying to be that dictator. It's sad. The big picture, though, is this is less about MAGA Republicans and more about a failing Democratic Party that is desperate to hold on to power in the November midterm elections. They can't run on inflation. They can't run on high gas prices. They can't run on rising crime. And they can't run on a less stable world. So they need to create a boogeyman to run against. A boogeyman. And this boogeyman is MAGA. They don't want us to be MAGA. What do you think about it, folks? Is Joe Biden the Hitler? Is Joe Biden the devil? You think the devils are in the details, right? The devil or Hitler? I'm kind of seeing Hitler. Now let's talk about America first versus America last. I've talked about this before, and I made a little video, and I'm going to show it again. I got 2 other videos. But thank you for tuning in to Go Right News with Peter Boykin. Harry, who used to be Sally, met Sally that used to be Harry. And really Harry. Hi, folks. This is Peter Boykin for hashtag Go Right. Having any free fault get you banned. Too many subjects this year get you banned. Even memes get you banned
Offensive material is for the left, folks. The easily offended. So have we offended you today? Well, yes. Yes, that answer is yes. Well, we did our jobs. We hashtag resisted today. You cannot handle the truth. Look, there quite literally is letters and numbers we can't talk about. There are certain subjects we can't talk about. Things we cannot talk about that will get you banned for talking about it.
In just one short month, we have gone from America first to America last. You think about it, right? America last.
Yeah, like you said, just not too long, we went to America last. All because of Biden, because of this man.
I'm eager to hear. Next.
Yeah. The man's nuts.
Hi, neighbors. My name is Peter. That's just how it is, folks. And look, everybody's like, oh, Donald Trump is so racist. Donald Trump is racist. Page 45. He don't like these people from other countries. We should allow everybody just to come on in because we're such a great big old country. And we can take care of everybody. Because I live in rainbows and butterflies. Meanwhile, they're bitching about how there's crime going on. Donald Trump is trying to prevent crime. But Donald, those thousands of people, there's only a few bad seeds. But we should let those people in. We should let all those people in. Because, 99 of them, 99 of those 100 people are wonderful people. Only one of them is a mass murderer. But you should go ahead and let all the 100 in because only one of them is bad. Well, one is a mass murderer, for example. See these dum-dums? I've got dum-dums here. They're not immigrants, just dum-dums. So I've got, 5 dum-dums here. 5 dum-dums. Okay? Look at this. Look at this cherry one. All right, they all look wonderful and great. They're all fruity and nice and everything. Well, guess what? I dipped one of them in poison. One of them is in poison. One of them is dipped in poison. But the other 4 of the 5, the other 4 are wonderfully delicious and they won't hurt anybody. They won't hurt anybody at all. So why don't you allow these dum-dums into your mouth? Because they're so great. One of them will kill you. One of them, maybe this one, maybe that one, maybe this one, maybe that one, maybe this one. One of them might kill you, but they're all so delicious and great. We should let them all in. You know what? They all just came in. I guess I'll have a dum-dum. But guess what? Nobody wants to say it. But it's the truth. That's one of the problems. I'm not radical. I love all people. I want to be able to eventually help people. But that's what America First is about for people. America First means we take care of ourselves first. People go, but you got to take care of other people in the world. Well, I'm sorry. We won the lottery. We won the nation's lottery, the world's lottery. We were born in the United States, one of the best places to be born. I'm sure there's other places in the world that would be great for to be born too, but this is one of the best places to be born. We have to take care of our own people first. Our own people. I mean, honestly, we have to take care of our own people first. That's what America's First is for. If you're on an airplane, those oxygen masks drop down, and you got your little kids there. They tell you, what's the first thing you do? You put the oxygen mask on yourself first. Why do you do that? You put the oxygen mask on yourself first because without you, you're not there to help the others. So that's why it's America First. How hard is that? Hi, neighbors. My name is... Imagine you were born in 1900. When you're 14, World War I begins and ends when you're 18, with 22 million dead. Soon after, a global pandemic, the Spanish flu, appears, killing 50 million people, and you're alive and 20 years old. When you're 29, you survived the global economic crisis that started with the collapse of the New York Stock Exchange, causing inflation, unemployment, and famine. When you're 33 years old, the Nazis come to power. When you're 39, World War II begins and ends when you're 45 years old, with 60 million dead. Then during the Holocaust, 6 million Jews are murdered. When you're 52, the Korean War begins. When you're 64, the Vietnam War begins and ends when you're 75. A child born in 1985 thinks his grandparents have no idea how difficult life is, but they have survived several wars and catastrophes. Today, we have all the comforts in the new world amid a new pandemic, but we complain because we have to change our way of life. We complain because we must stay confined to our homes where we have food, electricity, running water, Wi-Fi, and even the internet. None of that existed back in the day, but humanity survived those circumstances and never lost their joy of living. A small change in our perspective can generate miracles. We should be thankful that we are alive, and we should do everything we need to do to protect and help each other. That's why it's time to join the Go Right movement. It is time to hashtag Go Right for America. Join us at goright.us and gorightnews.com. It is time for the Great American Revival, and it is time to hashtag Go Right for America.
Mom and Dad always want me to know how great America is. So, we're always seeing historic things and beautiful places all around America. But I don't know. The way things are going, I wonder what it'll be like when us kids get big. We got a right to the same kind of America they had, don't we? So come on, everybody. Give us kids our chance.
Thanks for listening to Go Right with Peter Boykin. Please like this post, and please subscribe and follow and share this podcast to all your social media accounts, and visit gorightnews.com for more Go Right News with Peter Boykin. If you like what you hear, help support the podcast by donating. The link to donate is on gorightnews.com. Thank you for your support.
Check out this news story and more on gorightnews.com and the podcast hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin.
Go right and register to vote. Your vote matters, so vote. Go right and vote. Hashtag Go Right. Go right. Do right. Be right. Go right. Do right. Be right. Lead right. Think right. Vote right. Vote right. Think right. Lead right. Hashtag Go Right. It's time to join the Go Right movement. It is time to hashtag Go Right for America. Join us at goright.us and gorightnews.com. It is time for the Great American Revival, and it is time to hashtag Go Right for America.
Thanks again, everybody, for listening to this, and please share it everywhere. Again, this has been hashtag Go Right with Peter Boykin, a part of gorightnews.com.